We got exclusive interviews that make the breaking news. Exclusive interviews that make the breaking news. Football organically, you know we coming through. We do pre-game interviews and
welcome everyone to Football Organically. I'm your host, Doug Parrish. We have an exciting episode today. We have the quarterback from the University of California, Fernando Mendoza. Welcome to the show, Fernando. This is going to be a very interesting and insightful couple of minutes to share with you and to share with the folks out there in Football Organically world. And I'm just so excited to have you on. How are you doing today?
Doing great. First of all, thank you, Mr. Parrish, for having me on. I'm very excited to get in front of the Football Organically audience. I know this is an amazing podcast, so it's truly an honor of mine.
Excellent. So we have some exciting topics for everyone today, Fernando. And starting with the Cal spring game. The game is always exciting. You know, everybody gets a chance to play and showcase their talents and their skills. Give us a glimpse of what happened during the spring game and what's to come for Cal.
Yeah, so this is my second spring game at Cal. It was a great experience. Kind of going from the first to second, I felt 10 times more comfortable because my first spring game, that was kind of like the first live snap in front of an audience that I've ever played. So that was I was really nervous my first year. And then this year, I kind of had that aura and kind of confidence to myself. I was like, hey, like I belong. I believe I'm one of the best players in the field. Let's do this thing. Let's rip it. So that kind of correlated to the first play. The first play threw a deep go ball to one of my good friends and amazing receiver, Strong Griselle. And throughout the entire spring game, I felt I had a confidence and I had a really good intelligence with the defense and with the offense and kind of where to go with the ball, with timing and anticipation. So I felt really good about the spring game. And I think it was a good showcase. A good showcase of our offense and what's to come.
Excellent. Speaking of wide receivers and throwing go balls, I was just taking a look at some of the wide receivers you guys have. And also I wanted to focus a little bit on the offensive line as well. Both of those areas are going to be critical in your success playing in the ACC, and they can impact the effectiveness of the passing game. How are the wide receivers and the offensive line shaping up for Cal this season?
Yeah, like you said, both of those position groups are crucial, especially the offensive line, because that's where everything starts and ends with. It starts the run game and it ends with the pass game, and they're the real heart and soul of the offense. So our offensive line group and I, we're all very tight. So that's the first and most important thing right there, that we trust each other and we have each other's back. There's a little bit of discrepancy between those two groups can create disaster, but I'm really excited that, we've done a lot of team bonding off the field and we're all really close and trust each other. I mean, we have Nick Morrow, we have TJ Session, Sia Wappet, Matthew Wyckoff, and then we also have Bastion Sweeney. So those are all players who have all played a season before, all veterans, except Nick. Nick is, he is an amazing left tackle. He actually never played O-line in high school.
Mm-hmm.
He was a tight end, played quarterback for a little bit and played defense. But he's made the transition. He's one of the most hardworking guys on the team. With all the offensive line, they're always there when it's optional workouts, after practice. So that's a group I have a lot of trust in and that we've instilled a great relationship with. And then our receivers, we have so many good receivers. We had a ton of great receivers last year, and Coach Toller and staff, they exercised the transfer portal. We brought in around 5 or 6 new guys from all different areas. They're either young, a little older, but they all have production of their old school. And that speaks volume that we're able to get those guys that, especially the transfer portal. There's a lot of sharks, and everyone wants these guys who were productive to the last school. But it really excites me that they want to come to Cal, they want to play for Cal, and they want to catch touchdowns. So I'm really excited about our receiver group. And the one word I would use to describe a receiver group is explosive.
There you go. I love it. And, speaking of being explosive, you guys have a Heisman Trophy candidate, Jaydyn right behind you. I mean, gosh, I get excited just to talk about that. You got the dynamic receivers. You got a competent offensive line. I mean, this must be an incredible feeling for you, Fernando, knowing that Jaydyn can turn every carry into a changing moment and get momentum for you guys. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, Jaydyn's my guy. I think people don't talk enough about how humble he is for being a Heisman candidate. Sometimes you forget because when he's on the field, like I've said before, whenever you hand the ball off to him, there's always a chance of you to see the number one and the ought become smaller and smaller and smaller as he just races out the field. And you're like, oh, shoot,
cool.
Here we go. We scored. There was an amazing look for us schematically, but Jaydyn could cut it back and score. It might be a little bit of trouble, but Jaydyn could always make it right. And like you said, I mean,
oh my God,
I need a bottle. Any play, anytime. There's been amazing plays that he's taken. There's been terrible schematic plays that he's taken to the house. So it always, I mean, it's a great backbone to have as an offense because, especially with Coach Blesh, our offensive coordinator, he's offensive line coach. His first thing is establishing the run game, establishing a dominant O-line. So with Jaydyn back there, that only elevates our offense even more. So that's somebody I'm very excited to hand the ball off to.
Man, I love your analogy. Seeing his ot get smaller and smaller and smaller down the field, man. You got to want to see that every time you hand it off to him. Speaking of Coach Blesh, discuss the dynamics between you and the new offensive coordinator. I think that's going to be something that's very key to you guys' success in your relationship.
Yeah, like you said, that is very crucial. As throughout the season, it's not always going to be all sunshines and rainbows. There's going to be some back and forth, as you say, with, discussions on play calls and, maybe a missed throw here and there and maybe a missed call or whatever. So, but Coach Blesh's and I relationship has evolved throughout the last year and into this spring. I mean, Coach Blesh has always been there when he was the O-line coach.
Yeah.
He's always been there, always had my back. So that's something that's really a testament to him. Even when he wasn't the OC, he always vouched for me and he always helped me on and off the field. So that was something that I love about Coach Blesh. When he got the OC role, I was really pumped. And we've been working through the offense ever since. And he's done a great job in teaching me concepts, especially with the pass protection, with the run game, stuff that I've never really been taught before. Just because I was a young quarterback, they're like, hey, let's just get into the pass progressions, the coverages. So this is something that Coach Blesh is really helping me evolve my football IQ understanding as a whole. That's something I'm really excited about. I think it's going to take my next game to the level.
Absolutely. I have to say, in preparation of us getting together today, I pulled out a couple of my football books from my library. I know it's a little interesting here, but I have one here. It's Drew Brees' book, and I'm looking at this book, and I was reading through it to get some nuggets from it. It's Unleashing the Hidden Power of Adversity. Now, I recall when I was calling the game, but I was at the game checking you out in Utah, and you had an injury, and you went out of the game, but you just powered through it and you came back in, man. That showed so much toughness, resilience. And I was just in awe. I was like, this guy, what is wrong with him? He better go out and get some training assistance or something. But you just came back in and you powered through the adversity. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, the Utah game is not a great game that I like to recall just because we lost. However, I think it was a great stepping stone in our offense, kind of getting our rhythm. The Utah game was, it was an amazing experience as there's been, that home crowd was insane. And playing a pretty dominant high school football team in Miami, Florida, and never really playing at Cal, I've never really felt the intensity of the crowd in Utah.
Right.
And at a point, we were really close. I ended up getting hurt, and I felt like I let my team down because, as some of our coaches said,
you didn't. I was just gonna say, man, what you did right there, that showed. Those qualities impacted your teammates. To be quite honest with you, I think they have much more respect for you, and they love you as a leader of this team. So I got one more for you. Tim Tebow, I still got the sticker on there with the price tag. But he's talking about reclaiming your dream, igniting your passion, and live with purpose. This is the day. And I recall Marinelli, when I was playing at Cal, Marinelli came up to me one day and he said, Coach Marinelli said, Doug, be where you are. And that's similar to this. This is the day. You have no focus on tomorrow. Let's focus on what we got going on right now, what's right in front of you. Talk to me about your mental preparation and being where you are, and this is the day, and being, present.
I think being present is everything. As you see, there's other very successful college and future NFL quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. He spends 30 minutes pregame meditating to just get in the present moment. And that's something that I've taken in my game this offseason. There was a lot of, kind of not a mess, but there was a lot of distractions and a lot of thrown at me being my first season, going from third string to starter to last season. So being in the present moment, being a little calmer, it would help my mental side, as there's been a lot of games last year that sometimes I was trying to do everything and my mind was cluttered with all these thoughts like, oh, the coverage, oh, the pass protection. And being in the present moment allows the brain to be cleared and have those clear thoughts in order to, play at the highest level. So meditation and being present is something that I try to do every day now, as meditation is a great way to kind of reflect on the day, improve mental health, improve just your performance in general. And then being present is so important, as everyone always wants to talk about the future and the past. And I think there was a study, I cannot quote me on this, but it was that a certain percentage of the day, of an average human's day, is spent in the present. It's like only 40 or 60%.
Right.
That it's like not many people. They always think about, oh, what do I have next? Oh, what happened yesterday? So that's something I'm really trying to do. And when I'm present, I'm able to put all my effort and energy in that task, whether it's watching film, working on my footwork, lifting weights, or doing homework. I don't want to be thinking about other things, because then I can't put 100% energy and effort into that activity. And when I put all my effort and energy into that activity, that's when I improve the most.
That's right. I love it. Hey, you're 6'5", 225. You're looking strong. You're looking healthy. How do you feel going into 2024?
Like you said, strong and healthy. That is the best. That's the best, and motto I could give right now, especially with the offseason. The strength staff has done an amazing job with my body, as I feel really great and feel athletic, if not anything more athletic than I did last season. So that's something, the testament to them. It's something that I'm really proud of. The discipline from the nutrition side for myself, and just the discipline in the weight room and everything else that it takes to maintain and become more athletic, whether it's stretching or being in the training room. So shout out to the trainers. They do a great job here at Cal. And I really love that I'm able to see them. I know it's all about the small gains, but I'm really excited that I could see the improvement from my last year to this year. As I had one of my friends, he transferred from Cal 2 years ago. He came back to visit me and my other Cal football buddies yesterday. He was like, wow, you got a lot stronger. So that's something that I'm like, okay, like it's enough.
Validation there.
I'm really excited about.
That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. Now, on a side note, I'm going to talk a little bit about the rule change that happened this past season in terms of uniforms. I remember playing, and guys that I played with, they had some swag, and they looked good. But this year, you can't alter your uniform that much when you're playing. And maybe guys may or may not know this, but the first violation for altering your uniform this year is a warning. Okay, you're going to get a warning. Then the second is a 5-yard penalty. So in the throw and the heat of the moment, man, it's like, wait a second. Okay, you got to have that presence in mind and think that, okay, we gotta have our uniforms together. Will there be a focus on that in the locker room this year?
For sure. Anything that can help us on the field, or on the flip side, hurt us on the field, needs to be addressed. And I can promise you right now, Coach Wilcox is not going to allow a 5-yard penalty.
Exactly.
As you know, football is a momentum game. And if a huge gain or even to start off a drive, we get a 5-yard penalty. 1st and 15 is a lot harder statistically.
Yep.
Than 1st and 10. So that's something that cannot happen. And I promise that our teammates understand the best of the team. If anything, you can swag out pregame when we're doing our pre-warm-ups, and then when we go in the locker room, take it off right before the game. So,
there you go. Yeah.
I'm someone who likes to get swagged out, but I'm over comfort over style. And I know that can be a little controversial. There's a lot of feel good, play good. I'm just let me be simple, let me play comfortable to kind of clear my mind, not do too much. So
cool.
That's fun for me, and I know my teammates and the locker room will all adjust to it.
Absolutely. That is funny. Okay, cool. So we're going to play a game. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to say an attribute that you possess, and you just say, if it applies to you, you say check.
Got it.
Accurate.
Yes. Or check.
Check. Yeah. Tough.
Check.
Throw receivers open.
Check. And that's a huge part. Sorry to interrupt you. That's a huge part of the game that last year I didn't do as well, but in the spring and through working the receivers that I'm working on, because that's the level of quarterback that separates quarterbacks. It's everyone can, go through and make the reads consistently, but it's who can make those anticipatory throws.
Sure.
That's what separates. And that's so you see, that's why Caleb Williams went number 1 overall. That's why the GM Ryan Pohl said that was so excited about him. He has such great anticipation. Excellent.
Leader and inspire your teammates.
So, I mean, I would ask my teammates on that one.
Okay. All right. I'll say check. Great football IQ and good understanding of the game and can read defenses. Check. All right. Lastly, you're from Miami, right?
Yes.
All right. So you guys are going to be on national TV when you play Miami. Oftentimes when players get, make a big play and they get the TV camera that comes into their face, and most people say, "Hi, Mom." Hi. What will you say? Will you say "Hi, Mom" when the TV camera gets in your face?
So when we play Miami, so the one thing, the one, yeah, about Miami, that's a very heartfelt game for me. I will not say "Hi, Mom." I do love my mom, but my mom's gonna be at the game.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say hi to my mom post game. After we get like our little Chick-fil-A box and we go up and we have dinner after.
Okay.
So I'll say hi, Mom. Then.
Can you say hi, Mom now?
Yeah, I might say hi, Mom, twice. There is one. The one thing that could be a little controversial that I'm probably not planning to do. I know a lot of people throw the downwards U sign.
Oh yeah,
that's something that I'm not about.
Okay.
Although I do respect the University of Miami. I mean, I grew up a huge fan and everything like that. Sure. So although I was a little salty that I wasn't recruited there, I still have respect and I still have a lot of friends on the team. So I would not throw the downwards U sign that people do throw.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure yet. It's in the moment. Depends. If I score with my guys, I'd be like, give them the ball or just point at them and be like. In UCLA, there was a funny clip that I threw the ball to Jeremiah Hunter, who's now at Washington, great guy. And I kind of the camera went on us, and I kind of gave him a little praise, a little bit.
Yeah.
The celebration was just in the moment.
Just in the moment. That's what you do, man. That's football. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure being joined by the starting quarterback of the University of California. Thank you so very much, Fernando, for being with us today. Best of luck in the upcoming season. Thank you for joining us. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much again.
Okay, take care.